Yes. Hello all. I'm Sarah. So I welcome you all for the Nurses Academy YouTube channel. So I hope you all are fine. See, in the last videos we have seen cranial nerve assessment. So till now in the neurological examination we have seen the topics such as how to do an how to check the level of consciousness and how to do an mental status examination, and then we have seen the cerebral functions, and we have seen cranial nerve assessment, right? So till now we have seen the four components of neurological examination. Today we are going to see about the fifth and sixth component, which means motor function as well sensory function, only for upper extremity. Clear? Okay, so can we go for the video? Yes. See, before doing an examination, you have to do a general examination of the upper extremity. So, ask the patient to expose their body, which means they have to remove their clothes. Clear? Only for upper extremities. Clear? Yes. See, first you have to assess abnormal posture. You should assess any abnormal anatomical posture is there or not, and you should check whether the person is having any scar formation, and you have to check wasting of muscles, which means you should assess the person is having a hypertrophy or hypertrophy of muscles. Then you have to assess a fasciculation. Fasciculation means it's a twitching of muscles, which means a spontaneous involuntary movement of muscles. Clear? Then you have to assess the tremor. See, tremors means shaking. Clear? See, these are the things. Things are present or not, like that you should assess in the general examination. See, after done the general examination, then you will go for a motor function test. I'll explain. See, through the motor function assessment, you can able to know that muscle coordination, muscle size and muscle tone, then muscle movement. Okay, coordination and size, then size of the muscle tone and movements. Okay, so these are the things you can able to know the while doing a motor function. Clear? So first one is pronator drift. See, pronator drift, the word itself answer is there. Pronator. Pronator drift means you have to ask the patient to sit and they have to do a pronation. This is pronation, this is supination, right? So ask the patient to do pronation of the hands. See, after pronation, they have to keep it, which means they have to keep the eyes closed and they have to sit the hands with pronation position, and they have to keep the position maybe 30 to 50 seconds, because you want to assess the coordination of the muscle. Clear? So first you have to assess the pronator drift. How you are assessing? With the pronation position of the hands. Clear? So after that you have to do a cogwheeling rigidity. See, cogwheeling rigidity. Rigidity means you are assessing the muscle stiffness, especially the person who is having Parkinson's and decerebrate the symptoms. Persons may have a cogwheeling rigidity, which means they'll have muscle stiffness while doing a flexion and extension. Okay, so you are assessing the movements of the muscles. How you have to do a cogwheeling rigidity? Ask the patient to, you have to check all the joints, which means they have to ask the patient to do a flexion of shoulder and flexion of elbow, then flexion of wrist. Clear? So first shoulder and elbow, then wrist. So you have to assess all the joints, shoulder, elbow and wrist. Clear? So this is the way you have to assess the cogwheeling rigidity. First you have to assess the pronator drift, which means ask the patient to sit in a pronation position and which keep it in the same position with the 30 to 50 seconds. Here you are assessing a muscle coordination. After that, ask the patient to do flexion of the shoulder, elbow and wrist. Here you are assessing the cogwheeling rigidity. Clear? So after these, you should go for a muscle tone assessment. I'll explain what is muscle tone assessment. See here, ask the patient to do a abduction, adduction, flexion, extension. Okay. See all this pot, which means shoulder and elbow, then fingers. Clear? So you have to do an abduction, adduction, extension, flexion for shoulder and elbow, then wrist and fingers. Clear? We'll see how you have to do. First, how you are checking the flexion and extension, abduction, adduction means you thinking that you people are thinking that it is a movement, right? Yes, it's movement obviously, but from there, as an investigator, see, ask the patient to do a flexion. As an investigator, you have to push. Clear? So you have to push. The person have to push against you. Clear? So this is the way you have to push back. Clear? No? Because you are checking the muscle tone, how much they can able to push against you. That you are going to assess here. Clear? So first you have to do a abduction, then adduction. After that for wrist, once completed the shoulder, then you should come for the wrist, elbow. See, elbow, abduction. While they are doing abduction, you have to push against. Then adduction, you have to push against them. Then after that wrist, so you have to push against them, then push against them, like that. Wrist, flexion, extension. Clear? Then when it comes for the fingers, abduction, adduction. Yes. See, then after that you have to do a flexion, extension. So this is the way you should do an assessment for the extremities. Clear? Upper extremities. See, why we are doing these are the things, because our cranial nerves, and we have a cervical, we are having a cervical spinal cord. In the spinal we have a cervical, right? See, in cervical there is a nerves, right? So those nerves which is connecting with our upper extremity, especially in the shoulder we have, which is connecting C3 and C4. For the elbow, C5 and C6, and wrist, C7 and C8. In the fingers, C6 and C7s are there. Clear? So that's why if the person is become any spinal cord injury, or maybe the person is having any abnormality in the brain and spinal cord, we used to have a paralysis. Clear? Yes. So I hope that you all are clear about motor function, which means how you should assess the muscle tone. So once again I'll repeat. First you have to do a general examination. After general examination, you have to check the pronator drift, which means ask the patient to do a pronation. Then you are assessing the coordination. After that, you have to check the cogwheeling rigidity. See, in the cogwheeling rigidity, you are checking the flexion of the joints. Clear? Everywhere. Shoulder and then wrist and elbow and wrist. Clear? So after that, you are going to assess the muscle tone. See, muscle tone, how you are assessing? Abduction, adduction, flexion, extension. For the shoulder and elbow and wrist. See, while doing abduction, adduction, you have to push against them. Okay, how much the patient will push against you, then that much energy they are having, which means the muscle is in a very muscle tone is with a good power. Clear? So in our muscle tone we have a 1 to 5. See, if they are pushed against you in a very good manner, then you can give a 5. Clear? So if the person is having any hemiparesis or maybe a plegia, then accordingly you have to reduce the muscle tone. Clear? No? So you are assessing, these are the things for assessing the paralysis. Clear? Yes. Then next, you will do a sensation test. See, once you completed the motor function, then you should come for a sensation. In the sensation, we have a 3 different tests. One is a soft touch and pin prick, then vibration. I'll explain what is soft touch. See, take one cotton ball. The cotton ball, it should be a very sharp. Okay, so you have to make it very sharp, and after that you have to first you should touch the patient. Okay, you should touch and make them to feel. See, this is the way I'm going to touch your body. You have to tell whether you are getting the sensation or what. Like that you have to inform. Okay, this is maybe a procedure I'm going to do, and you should feel the sensation. If you not, you have to remind me. Like that you should explain the procedure. Clear? So what are the plays we have shown? Yes, I draw the picture, correct? See, shoulder, elbow and wrist, then fingers. So in everywhere you have to touch with the cotton ball. See, already I told that the person should be exposed their body. Okay, ask them to remove the cloth. Clear now? Yes. See, after that you have to touch with the cotton ball. First you have to make them to feel the sensation first. After that, ask the patient to close their eyes. Once they have closed, you should touch. Yes. So if they felt, then they said yes. Yes. So you have to touch everywhere, shoulder as well as elbow, then wrist and fingers. So you have to touch everywhere in the body. Once they felt, then the sensation, soft and sensation is good. Clear now? Yes. Then you can go for a pinprick test. See, pinprick test, you can take one lancet. Sorry. You can take one lancet. Lancet means no, needle. Yes. You can take one lancet. See, with the help of lancet, you should, there is a sharp, right? There is a sharp object, which means a needle. Yes. That you have to take that needle, and first you have to ask them to feel that pricking sensation. So this is maybe a pricking feel. So I am going to touch your body. So you have to tell whether you are feeling the sensation or what. Like that you should inform the procedure before that. Okay. So after that, explain everything, then ask the patient to close their eyes. Then you have to touch the same way, shoulder and elbow, then wrist and fingers. So you have to touch everywhere in the upper extremity, both the hands. Okay, don't forget that you should repeat the procedure in other hand also. Okay, clear? So both the hands you have to first, you should do a soft touch with cotton ball, then you have to do a pinprick touch, which means with a sharp object. Especially you can take a needle or lancet. Clear? After that, then you should go for a vibration. For vibration, here you have to take one tuning fork. So I already showed, right? See, tuning fork. This is maybe a tuning fork, right? So you have to take one tuning fork and make it vibrate. First, ask them to feel the vibration. So first you have to place maybe wherever in the body. Maybe you can place it on the chest or maybe in the hand, like that you should place. So make them to feel that vibration. After that, you have to place you have to place distal bony prominence. If they won't feel in the distal bony prominence, then you should go for a paroxysmal bony prominence. First you have to know what is distal bony prominence. See, which place is the distal and paroxysmal, right? See, in the hand, here we have a distal, and this part is called as a paroxysmal, right? See, in hand we have a distal and this part is a paroxysmal. So first you have to do a distal bony prominence. If they feel very well, then no need to go for a paroxysmal. Okay, fine. So take one tuning fork and make it vibrate. See, after that you have to feel the sensation first. After that, ask the patient to close their eyes. Then you should see, again you have to make it vibrate of the tuning fork. Then you should place on the distal point, which means in the finger, in the thumb finger, in the outer part of the thumb finger below the nail. This part is called as a distal. So you have to place. See, ask them to remind when the vibration is get over. So once it's over, then you can remove the tuning fork. Clear? So this is the way you have to check the soft touch, pinprick, vibration. So here you are assessing the sensory. Yes, sensory function. You are assessing complete sensory function of the upper extremity. Here you are assessing the muscle coordination, muscle movements, and muscle size, as well as you are checking the muscle tone. Okay, but here you are assessing the complete sensory of the upper extremity. Clear now? So first you have to do a general examination. After that, for motor function, you have to do a pronator drift, then cog wheeling rigidity. After completing this, you should assess abduction, adduction, then flexion, extension for assessing the muscle tone. Clear? So after completing this motor function, then you should go for a sensory. In the sensory, you have to do a 3 different type of test. One is a soft touch with a cotton ball, pin prick test with a needle or lancet. Then you have to do a vibration with a toning fork. Clear? So after completing this, then you should go for a reflexes. So in the reflexes, we'll see in the next video. Thank you all. See you. Bye-bye.